conflict between House Steiner and House Davion rages on.
Was it smart for the Archon to hire mercenaries to deal with the bandit army on Carver 5?
Kelly knows that once the bandits are dealt with, the mercenaries will pull out.
Hello and welcome everybody to episode 48 of the First Circuit podcast. Tonight's topics do include the Hellfire Challenge, Solaris 7 Season 2 event, Hotfix, the service report, Zero to Hero boosted and skill event, July daily deals, what do you think about the Hellfire impressions, and some other things the community can do against LRM Boats. So first off, we have Aethermech.
Hello.
And second off, we have Biter.
Lark.
Yay! And then we have old Bob, myself, talking right now. So first off, we're going to get to the Hellfire Challenge. Let me set this up here. So like, did you guys do the Hellfire Challenge? Did you guys do the Hellfire Challenge?
I only got standard pack. I mean,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the same old challenge for any new mech that comes out. So how much you can do with the challenge depends on how much you've invested. And I only got standard pack, so I only got the 7.5 million C-bills. But I did do it. It's not too hard.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty easy to do. I did screw up though, like unfortunately, because I got so sick of using the HLF1, and so I started using the HLF1C. So during halfway through challenge, I sold that one. It's like I don't need that mech anymore. Get an extra thing, and so I can't complete the first one, but I did get the paint job. Yeah, no, I got the paint job, and I got the hero challenge, and I haven't actually done the other ones because it's okay. I'm okay on that. Getting 2 million for that amount of work to go and do it, but I think it's kind of screwed up though that they made it for the total thing. That's a procedure or the business model that they are doing is so if you get all the packs, you get all the cool stuff. But especially with the hero challenge and you get the little and get the walker and everything and the Raider Hellfire with the $30 pack, you get the 1S, right?
Yeah, I think it's the 1S.
Yeah. I just think that it's a business model, but you got to purchase the $70 for the whole thing instead of just a standard pack for $20. But oh well, that does happen, I guess. And how about you, Aether?
I didn't wail for this one. It's a little ugly for my taste.
A little ugly. Yeah, it is kind of ugly. Yeah, true.
It's ugly.
Looks like a midget that just ruined total buff on the torso, and that's about it. Or like a mix between like two different types of mechs. It just looks really weird. But I guess that's how the clans work. So I think next we have the Solaris 7 Season 2 event. Did you guys do that yet?
Solaris 7 series into event. No, I haven't bothered at all with that.
I haven't either. To tell you the truth. Oh my god. Boy. You guys been playing Mechwarrior like this week or what?
I've been doing group carrier as always, but I'm just not that enthused about Solaris, honestly, at least personally.
No, why is that?
Well, it's just a 1v1, 2v2 experience, and you sometimes might find you're stuck waiting 2 minutes in between a match, even right now when there's an event going on, because obviously there's the freaking timer. They're not reducing it during events, so I don't really want to wait around all that time.
Yeah. Like I pretty much had the same problem. Like when I first did it, it was just waiting long, and then I tried a couple other times. Third time, it's like I really don't want to wait that long for a freaking match. And then also too, you're seeing all these different builds that just like one-shot wonders just for like just for this. And so it's not really quote a challenge. Plus, I'm more of a team guy. I like playing team games instead of 2v2 is a team thing, but I like more of the 12 versus 12 tactical game challenge than the 2 versus 2. Like everyone. Get old Bob, kill that guy first and kill the other dude, type thing. There's tactics in this game.
What 12v12 have you been playing lately?
Well, with events though, it's a little bit different though. But tactics though, it has been lacking lately. But it's not too bad.
The rewards also didn't particularly incentivize me. I already have plenty of sea bills and plenty of warhorns, which is the main things they're giving away. Though they are giving away good warhorns and plenty of sea bills.
Yeah, true. And plus, like, we're looking get a victory in each division, and I think that's to get a retro arcade warhorn, which they did give that out a couple other times too. So I think everyone has all those. It has a retro arcade like warhorn. Plus one in each division though. That's a big time investment though.
Yeah, and at least for me, I might only enjoy one division, and now it's like, well, they're asking me to do lots of this, that, and the other, and it's a lot of hassle for a reward that I'm not too interested in a game mode that I don't play much.
Yeah, true. True. Also, too, I mean, they've been having events back to back as well, too. I mean, literally back to back. It's like, oh god, another freaking event. Jeez, and probably a lot of people just burnt out and doing other things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
They've been there was a while they didn't do events. They were just doing sales. Well, the endless sales are still going on. It's just that they are mixing things up a bit more now with events, but it is back-to-back events.
Yeah, true.
I think they're trying to capitalize on the summer break before everyone goes back to school.
That could be it. Or just want to make more money. You know.
Well, you know.
I know if I was a business, the whole purpose of a business is to make money.
I think it makes sense at least to do a Solaris event right now, since obviously they are starting up the new season, and people got a whole bunch of their Solaris 7 rewards as well with this patch. I was actually kind of surprised that I got so many of the various Solaris awards. I got like top 2,500, top 1,000, and top 500 even. It doesn't tell you what for, and I can't be bothered looking up on the leaderboards. It's just like, well, I did something really good somewhere.
Do you think it'd be better if they actually had like, this is the reason why you got this?
A bit, yeah. Because otherwise,
yeah, for bragging rights.
There's 14 separate areas, and you have to sort of check the leaderboard before the patch went live to sort of figure out where you were. Maybe there's an archive somewhere of how well you did, but I was just like, oh, okay. I played maybe 2v2s a bit more than somebody else did, for a particular division before it went silent. So yeah, ooh, I'm top 500.
I'm pretty sure my Division 7 status is pretty absurd.
I think mine's 0 because I haven't played. So,
but I played a lot of St. Ives Blues. It was kind of dirty.
Oh, really? And what's your build for it?
I only played on launch, but I still got all those slots.
Yeah.
Well, he went streaks of St. Ives Blues, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had 3 medium pulse lasers and 2 streak 6s.
Yeah, and on Division 7 as well, I played a lot for that because the Spider Hero is in that, and you can really do some shenanigans with Streak 6 in the center torso.
Not too bad. Oh, streaks seem to be the main weapon nowadays for a lot of people. You have a very good weapon to go and use.
In our group, I keep, poking and teasing people that you should just use streaks, and we all take streaks, and we go barreling into them and splat them to death, and it's a lot of fun. I don't think the average players actually use streaks that much.
Probably not. I think we're the only ones that really do it.
7.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was, in Division 7, sure, but I would say it's a lot of use in quick play, a lot more use, honestly.
True. So next we have a hotfix for July 19th. That did happen. Let's go check that out. Oh, that was for the Ebon Jaguar cockpit bug. That happened July 19th, 4 p.m. Dashboard shift up and obstruct the player's vision. That's interesting. I don't think I have I think I have Ebon Jaguar, but I haven't used it though.
Yeah, I didn't see that problem. This bad problem to have with those glowy screens that are so useful. Just start floating upwards and block your view. God damn it, you're even more useless now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, with all those different screens, I wish I had a better way of doing information or something like that. Because all the glowy screens, they really don't give me anything. They're just like, ooh, look, I have a glowy screen now, type of thing. They don't do anything. I wish they actually gave like more like information that I could go and use or something.
Yeah, I totally agree. They should actually have some purpose, even if it just shows the same kind of info you already have available, like your total ammo count or anything like that. I know before they had stuff like ammo locations and stuff like that, but even if the screens just wiggled, wibbled a bit faster when you're hotter, then
Yeah.
it would sort of be like, oh, he's getting hot, the reactor's struggling to, keep working or whatever. Just something.
That'd be cool, actually. That would be a good idea. Russ, just to let you know, Russ, that might be a cool idea. Russ. But yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of cool to do. I will actually, that puts some, like, like a quality of life improvements to the game itself. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Quality of shenanigans, at least.
Well, at least, immersion into the game instead of, like, what atrocity it is now. I mean, I like the game, don't get me wrong, but it's not 100% Battletech. But that's just my own thing. Okay, so next we got a service report that did happen. Service restart, I'm sorry. Service restart for 30 seconds. You know what sucked about this? I was streaming on, it was a mech hump day, like my wife and I can go and stream, Mechwarrior online. So we just get started at 5 o'clock. We're like, yay, get started. I think Biter, you were the one that actually told me, oh, by the way, in 20 minutes it's gonna restart. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, because it's so hard to get my wife to, kind of get going to play. And once she gets going, she's fine. She has a great time. But it's like, okay, now we got to restart again. It's like, oh crap, totally sucked.
Yeah, well, you didn't necessarily have the worst of it because it was sort of, you're in between matches. You get told about it ahead of time, and it goes down. It's up 30 seconds later. You can carry on. The worst though was probably this is very last. They didn't give much forewarning, and I think partly because there's a lot of competitive play on weekends, and this thing was what fixing it. But the people that are the worst affected, I saw one of the early comments was someone was playing, of course, faction warfare.
Oh, oh boy.
Those matches are real bummer to be. If you have 20 minutes notice on a match that takes 30 minutes, it doesn't matter. You're going to have your match screwed over one way or another, and you're not going to be looking on the website, to find out that this restart's happening.
Well, yeah, true. Like, like on our last game, we had like, I think 8 minutes left, and it's like, and we all talked, typed in chat. Okay, guys, we have 8 minutes. Let's kill each other real quick, just so we get the C-bills, because I don't want to go through the match and they go, oh, you don't get the C-bills or anything else you did for 8 minutes. I'm like, oh man. So we just hammered it out, like we just brawled each other, and it was a lot of fun. It was good to have a good community type thing like that.
I was dropping with the people in Lash's group, and someone noticed it, and that's how I came to know and tell you. But the funny thing was we kept dropping against the same guys, and the matches got quicker and quicker as it came closer to the point of the servers going down. So it was just like, yeah, let's do this again. Let's beat them up again.
Oh god.
They tried brawling us before. Let's see if it works this time. Oh no, we lost even less people this time.
Yeah, maybe that was just a quick thing they had to go do. So, I mean, that does happen like in games like this, and it is CryEngine for crying out loud. So, I mean, there are a lot of bugs involved into it. They got to do stuff for it. So, I'm okay with it. It just kind of sucked. It sucked a little bit, though.
Well, the bug was a funny one, which is the champion assassin could be selected for competitive and actually dropped in with its stock loadout. Stock loadout is a community build, which is using endosteel ferrofibrous XL engine and Artemis upgrades.
Obviously, they didn't have that in 3039.
30, yeah, I think it's 39. Yeah, 39.
Yeah.
They you suddenly have a space age technology assassin bubbling through competitive, and it's I think it's Force, Small Pulse, and SRM-12 of Artemis. That's a pretty scary brawler against the hodgepodge mixed stuff that you typically see on stock loadouts.
Very true. Very true. That would be kind of weird to go and have, because I think the large pulsators, they were prevalent but weren't mass produced in 3039. They were out there. As far as the Indo Steel, I think that came after 3050, and then a couple other like things like Artemis definitely was gone for a long time until about 3050 as well too. But yeah, it's yeah, that would be kind of crappy to have like a super technology. It's like having a clan mech going against a bunch of 3025 mechs with 35 tech, you know.
Yeah, it's a pure dedicated brawler as well, when stock mechs are, of course, rather generalist, typically.
Yeah.
Though I have no clue how the meta is actually panning out for competitive.
True. Next up, I think we have July daily deals. Did you guys get any of these?
Well, that's
I'm sorry,
Zero
to Hero. I'm sorry, Zero to Hero. Yeah, that's next. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I think we could start with the daily deals and then go on to the Zero to Hero sale, and then go on to the event.
Sounds good.
They're a mix of two things. So July daily deals, as I've been saying, they've been doing sales incessantly, and now this is getting a little crazy.
Excessive.
It's like 2 weeks, every day a different type of sales. So, one shot camos 50% off, then 50% off warhorns, 30% more with your MC. Just all the things they do, cycling through all the time, through all of them basically.
Yeah, I know. I know for the one-shot camos, I'm kind of upset. I know it's called one-shot camos. Don't get me wrong, but like, let's say when I change out my camo, like I want the one-shot camo, since I did spend the MC for it to still be on that mech, only that mech. So it's still if you only like that mech, only have one of those mechs, one-shot camo is perfect. But if you have like buy for the whole chassis, it's cheaper for the whole chassis than buying one-shot camos for the whole thing. And I think that they should keep them. Even if you change it, so it's like, do you want to change this? So you say yes, and it's like, okay, your 75 MC's gone, or 150, like depending on what it is. And I think they should actually keep that just for, I know the one-shot camos, I know that, guys, but have it so you can still put that paint on the mech, even if you change the paint job, to something else. Just be nice. But yeah, like the daily deals, they have been having a lot of freaking deals, and I mean, it's cool and everything, but it's a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of money there. Premium time, 50% off. Mech bays, I think on July 29th will be one of the major things that they will definitely sell a lot of, though. So if you can get your MC on Friday, and then gift MC on Monday, that would keep it,
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious as to the relative success of all of these sales that they've been doing. Like, have they just realized that sales help generate, interest in the game? Is that what's going on? Is that somebody went, guys, if we look at the numbers, sales means we get more money, so let's do more sales. And everyone's like, and they just keep doing endless sales when, there's a saturation point with sales where it doesn't become so special for that thing to be 50% off. It's like, well, it's 50% off now, but next week they'll have to figure out another sale to do, so they'll probably do it that time. So just wait a month or two.
Actually, you're right about that.
Yeah, but the other thing, at least in particular with this one, there's a couple of notable things. So normally they do a week-long sale just for the week, this is going on. And this gives you plenty of time to think about your purchase or for people to find out about it. This one is much more the kind of, as you were saying, Bob, I'll have to buy MC on this particular day and then use it on this other day for the, for the mech bays, and this other day for the for buying some colors.
Yeah.
it forces people to come back, and that is sometimes like daily sales is a common thing you see in plenty of games, because you do want people checking back, keep them looking at what's going on in the game.
Well,
so I wonder how well this will do compared to the other sales.
I mean, basically as a free-to-play game, they got to make money. That's how free-to-play works. Otherwise, we won't be playing this game anymore. So they still have to make money, and I perfectly understand that. But the sales are way too much, man. They've been having a S-ton of sales, and it's just like a lot of...
Stop making money off my game!
Stop making money, man! Damn it, stop it! But yeah, it's just I mean, like, I'll buy the MC and maybe get a couple more mech bays just so I can get the sea bills and purchase some mechs I want to go and try out and go and do, basically, like on my alt account or something like that. But but I mean, it's a free to play game. They got to make money, and thank God they don't charge like $10 a month to go play this game, you know, like other games do. But then every game turns into free to play. I was talking about this last night. Almost every game that starts out $15 a month, in less than a year, it goes to free to play with, like, you know, buy cosmetic items and buy camos and, you know, and do that kind of stuff. It's a standard way of doing things. Sorry, go ahead.
One last thing though to talk about these July daily deals, I find just curious. I'm not sure. The image they use at the top, it's like got some guy with a briefcase, and there's some soldiers standing over him, and it's that's very different from usually how they do their promotional artwork.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to talk about that too. You know, go on. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't remember them doing anything like it before. It's normally just, you know, a picture of like some mech standing around shooting.
Yeah.
You know, they always use in-game stuff. This is, yeah, they actually get some artist person to do this, or hopefully they didn't, you know, take it from the internet. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, who did this? Where did they get this from? And my only guess is, I don't know, like something related to Mechwarrior 5 or something.
It might be. Like, I know it has the generalization as it looks like a Mechwarrior type thing. Because the artwork I've noticed it was from earlier on when they used to for the main house books. They have really good art. This is for the second generation house books, and the art looks kind of like that. But the artist, I don't know who did the artwork like for us, but really well done. I mean, it sets a precedence, and there's some space alien on the back part of it. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's so weird.
But there are aliens inside Battletech, like creatures, not like, you know, intelligent like alien beings with spaceships and stuff like that. But there are creatures in Battletech, and people don't understand this. They're on different planets, and that's a unheard of thing in Battletech, where you actually have mechs have to fight big ass dragons and stuff like that. You know, like on some planets. But the style is really reminiscent of what Battletech would be as far as artwork wise, and they did a good job on that. I'm highly impressed with that.
I do like the imagery though of this heavily guarded guy. He's got, you know, this Lost Tech laptop, and on it is the Mechwarrior Online website. You can buy the champion mech.
I know, that's so true. Would you like to buy this champion for $20? But you are right though, man. It's like, you know, I mean, you know, like, one thing I could never figure out, especially in Battletech and all the different videos and movies and everything else, was well, not movies, but like, you know, like games, was why is the communication so effed up? You know, basically you got, you know, it's just, I never understood in 3050, even 3065, like whatever it is, like when, like even the clans have this problem too. Their radio communications sounds like they're from the 1940s, you know, type thing. I never could figure it out. And being that far in tech wise, I would think they actually make some better tech. But like you talked about the laptop, lost tech. You know, a laptop is lost tech, and that's crazy when they're still building mechs. Like even in 3025, they're still building like locusts and all that kind of stuff. They need computers. They need computers to build this kind of stuff because it'll be almost impossible to do like without it.
It's all the lazy ham radio interference.
I just called it a Lost Tech laptop because that's the easy way to sort of justify all the security.
Yeah, true.
I mean, this is PGI in the far future. They've gotten so paranoid about their fan base. They've pissed them off so much they have to walk around with armed guards. That's how they're feeling right now.
That's how they're feeling. Yeah, God. That'd be funny if actually Russ came out with a laptop during MechCon with two big ass guards next to him and say, "This is Lost Tech, old Bob and Biter."
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Oh God. But July deals, if you guys can, do kind of do like, you know, stuff. The premium time is really good. It definitely does help. Double XP conversion. I don't think I ever used that though. The C-bills never used that at all. I never bought hanging cockpit items except for the pumpkin. I did buy the pumpkin though. I wanted that one. You know, that's a Warhorn one. I wanted that one. Period. That was really good to have. But of course, that's gonna be on. That's today. By the time this comes out, it's already gonna be gone. So, oh well. Don't worry about it.
Oh dear, that's the issue with sort of reporting on these things. We record at a certain time and upload at a certain time, and so with daily deals, we're just too slow. Whereas if it's a
Yeah.
week, it's like the event will still be going on in a couple of days.
Yeah, true. Okay, so next we got Zero to Hero. Zero to Hero. Urban Mech packages, Resistance packages, Hero packages, they're all 30% off. Select Hero Mechs are 50% off. Great deal in case you want to get some stuff. Bonus, the pack, ooh, that's a good deal for $15 for the Solaris 7 Hero pack. Great deal, too, for $15. Sunspider, Vanguard, Roughneck are on sale for 50% off. Yeah, they're okay, I guess. But all the Hero Mechs, 50% off. A great deal. Do it, guys. Really, really good. And then also they do have kind of like a daily challenges for GXP and skill points and all that kind of stuff. Determined supporter pack, if you do have that, that also gives you 250,000 C-bills per challenge. I did get this like for my wife because she needs C-bills, and so every day she does a challenge, she gets extra C-bills because like she's all, I want to build this. I'm like, well, you need C-bills. It's going to be hard if you don't have C-bills to build it. So, I got her that just so she gets an extra 250,000 plus 10%, each game too.
Yeah, it's 50% off all the heroes, I think, for this particular sale. So, woo, if you want a hero, it's the time to sort of pick them up. Except didn't they do this kind of sale fairly recently?
Yeah, I think like 3-4 weeks ago. I think I'm not sure.
That one was more selecty.
Oh, really?
There's a handful of the unseen heroes and some other miscellaneous stuff.
There
okay.
was a sale though. I do remember at least reporting on the sale when there was, all of them, almost all on sale except for the Prana hero in the store, because the Prana was currently out for MC.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
at least to my memory, it is actually, for me at least, I spent all my MC that I had accumulated over the months on that sale to get, a couple more heroes. And I haven't built up much of a reservoir because they haven't, they've been doing plenty of sales, but not enough events.
No, they've been doing events though. Oh, you mean like events to give MC, right?
Not enough events for me to buy, 2 hero mechs again when they're on sale, like right now.
Yeah, true.
Though at least this sale does come with an event that does give MC, so I'm slowly climbing my way back up there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna purchase a pack just to for my alt account and grab the Shadowhawk Grey Death because I like that mech. It's pretty fun to go play. So it's purdy. I like the purdy mech, but we're probably gonna pick that one up. But the daily challenges do give you some really cool stuff. I think we're on day 4 today, right? Which is Sunday, correct?
Day 4 starts in 4 hours.
Okay.
It starts soon, but that's the time of recording.
Yeah. But each day does give you 50,000 C-bills, 50 MC, and 800 GXP. So that's 1 skill point, and then 50,000, and then the MC. So if you do all the events, it's you're gonna get up to 12 times that. So it's not bad. Just do them. They're really easy to do. Some are like get 3 KMDDs, no problem. Do 15 assists, no problem. Use a learn boat. That's gonna be a fun time. That's a lot of salt. I forget what
the daily events, even though there's a new one popping every day, they are for 48 hours.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You don't even have to play every day. You can play every other day.
And usually, if you have a halfway decent, if you're halfway decent, like at the game, you get them done in one to maybe 2 games at the most. And so it's really easy to go and do. And I do like how they do have them for 48 hours because I really want to log in every single day. Go play for 1 to 2 games and log out again. That'll just burn me out like even more. But it's pretty easy to do, yeah.
Yep, for me at least, events on quick play is more my bread and butter, and particularly it's giving MC rather than more stuff that I already have.
What day is a Lerm day? I gotta make sure to bring my Nova out. Piss people off.
So mean. Might not be enough though.
Oh no, I got enough. I got enough. It's
Quad
definitely enough.
AMS fish, guys. It's the quad AMS fish.
The quad aim fish, you think?
Yeah, that's a good time.
300 ballistic damage is not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, if you do a large enough LRM volley, you can still get through to an AMS fish or a Nova.
Yeah, basically, I've noticed LRM-15 and LRM-20 is the only thing they get through. Like, LRM-10's like I can pretty knock out, like, very very frequently, but bigger ones are kind of hard, especially if you have double of them too.
Yeah, and the game, of course, encourages you to take the bigger launchers as they're more heat efficient typically, and there's the ghost heats. So yeah, I usually see at least a lot of LRM fired all at once, which means the MMS mechs they have their place and they certainly cut down the swarm coming in, but they can't always necessarily stop it.
True. Okay, so next we have what? Yeah, okay, number 4. What do you guys think about the Hellfire mech?
So it's just you and me and old Bob, right? I think
Yeah,
Aether said his piece. He didn't get it. It wasn't pretty.
wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly, and I like shooting at it. It's kind of easy to break.
Yeah, it is kind of easy to break. I've noticed it's I've been dropping a lot. Especially like I do like the hero mech though a lot better than all the rest of them. Just for the hard points that they do have. But I think, and then the HLF 1S is my favorite too. The other ones I haven't even used yet. Just those two, like, I've been using the hero and the HLF 1S. I've been using, and they're not too bad. But you do have to really play this as a second line mech. Period. You can't play this as a frontline dude. It's just not built for that. What do you think, Butter?
I think I discussed it a little bit with BrioS, and I think we're both in accord with this. It somewhat plays quite like the Mad Dog. At least it's got missile and energy. It's got a very similar type of shape. It'll typically sort of, at least on its normal speeds, go about the same kind of speed, and your arms are wide and kind of low, so you don't necessarily want to focus on using those. So yeah, it's a Mad Dog, which is a battle mech. So you can choose all the upgrades, engine size you want, and it has mask.
Yeah, true. I know for me, like, just like you talked about with the low arm, like, energy points, I've been having issues with that about shooting hills in front of me. But the high ballistic mount works for me very well. But it's just that one, just the weapons, the arm really screws me up a lot of times, and I have to peak higher points and get focused a lot more than I do with other mechs.
Yeah, the mech's arms don't tend to catch a lot of flak, leaving most of the damage going to the torsos, and it doesn't have any way of survivability quirks on the torsos. So yeah, it isn't a frontline mech. Its agility is the same as the Mad Dog, which is fine for a second line mech, but as someone if you're trying to run up into people's faces and brawl them using the mask, it can struggle a little bit, since it's all a big giant torso, its arms aren't shieldy, and its agility is not up to the task, at least given all of its various qualities and spread out hard points.
Yeah, true. Like, even with the mask, I did take it off because I always forget to use the freaking mask, man. Every single time I have a mech with mask, I always forget to use it unless it's specifically designed for it. I know, like say the Shadowhawk, or the Shadowcat. I'm sorry, the Shadowcat. I know it has mask. I know you could do certain things. Just that one, and I only buy that one mech just for that. But all the rest of them, I don't know. I always forget to use it for some dumb reason.
Yeah. I would say, like, all the Hellfires other than the hero have very similar hard points. It's energy in the arms and typically missiles, maybe some energy, or maybe a ballistic in the side torsos. The energy of the arms I mostly discount. I don't usually play into them. And even the couple of energy or ballistic in the side torsos, I usually don't care much for either. It's a second line mech, so missiles typically fit a second line mech a lot better. So lots of LRM, lots of streak lots of ATM, and ATM in particular I've had the most fun with in this mech. Just 2 ATM 12s, the typical kind of thing you see on a Mad Dog, with like 5 heavy small lasers in the arms or so, and it gives you a really big missile strike that you can use masking out in and out of cover very quickly. It arcs a little bit, which helps with the sort of low missile hardpoints. SRMs and streaks are kind of spread out. They're all over the mech, and they're kind of low. The Mad Dog mounts its missile hardpoints quite high, making it easy to shoot over obstacles, whereas the Hellfire's missile hardpoints, some of them can be sort of low on the chest area, and it sort of feels like you can too often shooting the floor even with your torso mounts.
True.
So contrary to what Bob said, I would actually say for the most part, I have a build I'm very happy with the Hellfire on all of them, except for probably the Hero, because that can't do 2 ATM 12s. Instead, you have to try and find some awkward compromise because you're not running the ATMs, which is sort of the saving grace for me with this mech.
I'll have to try the ATMs, and you're talking about the 2, right? That has the 2 missile points and then the 5 energy, right?
You could do it on the 1.
Oh,
the
yeah,
2,
okay, yeah.
Okay, what's that? The A. Okay, you could only do 4 small lasers. Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
The B and the C. What's that? 4 energy in the arms as well. Oh no. It doesn't even have to just be 5 heavy smalls. You could do 6 heavy smalls. It's all personal preference.
I'll have to try that build. Actually, that sounds like a fun. Sounds like a LRM salty fun.
I like poking around corners, within that close range bracket.
Yeah.
Using the speed of the mech to get it into good positions, because the thing with the ATM Mad Dog is you're only going 81 kph, and you have to slowly plod out around the corner and then slowly plod back when you're doing a volley up, at the 270 meters range. With the Hellfire, though, you just sprint around that corner with the mask. You instantly accelerate up, and then even though you're masking, you can still acquire locks. You press the button, you fire the huge volley of ATMs, and you instantly you start masking back as quickly as possible. And it's just so much fun, whizzing in and out of corners, whizzing far into the enemy and away from the enemy very quickly using the mask, because the Hellfire, particularly the Hellfire 2. For the standard pack, it can take a fairly big engine and mask, so it goes way faster than the Mad Dog and has way better acceleration, which can at least work as the second line sudden ATM 24 to the face mech.
Good point, actually. Good point, because I know the Mad Dog, I have 2 of them, and I rarely use them because, like you said, it's just like they're very slow and sluggish. And with I guess with this, because I actually took out the mask, it's still fast for like a mech that size, but I guess with mask you just whiz in, shoot your missiles, and then run away again or something like that. That actually makes a good point.
The mask, boosts acceleration by like 30% or so, or whatever. So it means you can start and stop very quickly, or relatively quickly. It's at least better than the Mad Dog in that respect, because you can particularly tailor it to this build. The only thing that it does sadden me is at least SRM 24 LB10 or LB20 SRM 24, without Artemis builds. Like SRMs, they just feel so lackluster, and the spread hardpoints means sometimes firing at range, it just like like 100 meters range, it splatters all over the mech. Not because because SRMs have bad spread, but also B, because they're starting from so many wide points on the mech, and they just sort of go all over them, and it's just like, I'm at 100 meters and it's still not good enough.
I don't know, like I definitely like the Hero for the high ballistic mountain. That's what I like about it. It definitely helps me peek over hills and shooting with an LB20, and then even with a like Ultra 10 if I use that one.
It's the same as the Hellfire A, just without the engine cap thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't offer too much. The awkward, I've got 2 ballistic hardpoints, but one of them's in the arm playstyle is not really worth it, in my
but
opinion.
it has a better paint job and gives me plus 30% C-bills. So that's why I use it. Because I need money, man. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing I see with you and Lars a little bit would be because you get the whole pack for free. You both jump towards the hero, even if the hero isn't the most interesting of them. It's just like, oh, the seatbelts.
Yeah. Well, man, like I've been blowing through C-bills. Like I had 100 million, and I think I spent it in like in less than a month. And literally, I was buying all these different mechs, and like like I had a bunch of like extra mech bays and everything. So now I'm down to like 3 million. So like I need to do these hero mechs. I need that money. But so I'm gonna have to start selling coolant, man, to like the periphery or something. Here, man, I got some coolant for you. You want it? You want it? It's only 500 C-bills if you want it per liter. Type of thing or something. Because I'm broke.
The only criticism I would have for the Hellfire, somewhat other than the ones I've given, is the lack of missile hardpoints. At least since I really like the missiliness,
Yeah.
the most you're going to get is 4, 2 in each side torso. That one is actually one of my favorite ones because I do Streak 24 plus, ATM 24 plus Streak 8. So that just makes even more of an alpha strike, if I get to that, sweet spot range. But the Mad Dog still does have the advantage in the fact it has a whole bunch of durability quirks, weapon quirks,
Yeah.
like cooldown stuff, and even if you take the 3 missile side torsos, you can take 6 missiles in total with really tanky arms, and take 6 streak 6, for example. I can't do that on the Hellfire, and I also want to make it a streaky mech, but no, it's much better with the limited number of missile hardpoints. I go with ATMs, which are streaks, but with a minimum range.
Yeah. Like I know, like I've been using ATMs a little bit more with the is it the Wolfhound? I think it is. Not the Wolfhound. The
Not with Innisphere Wolfhound.
No, the
Arctic Wolf.
Yeah, the Arctic Wolf. Sorry, I've been using that, and I'm having really good success with it. But it's that one is like you really have to watch your ranges on the ATMs, and it's like I try to get in within 120, but then they run towards me. It's like, oh man, I gotta back up now. But it's still like ATMs are good. It's a good design for a LRM quote boat per se, but you really have to watch it as far as range wise. But I'm having fun with it though, with ATMs. They're hard to use. They're really hard to use though.
That's kind of my reasoning though with using heavy smalls, is they have a ridiculously short range. It's like 115. So if I'm beyond 120 meters, I use the ATMs, and they're pretty toasty because it's 24 missiles fired at once. It's like 2 PPCs or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But if they get close enough, I've got so many heavy smalls that I'm just going to use them instead, and it's like a 32 damage alpha. I had one really good moment. I brought I 1v1'd a LP10 Cyclops, and it's the typical kind of thing where I poke out from cover, I lock on, I give my huge alpha strike, he clobbers me for 40. I'm running about, I'm skittering from cover to cover. And at the very end, like his CT's open, but both of my sight also opened up. And what I do is I splatter him with the ATMs. I charge forward, at like 120 meters. I charge forward just within heavy small range, and I give him, basically both barrels, both weapon systems on his center torso, and he just melted instantly. It was beautiful.
But yeah, like you are right though. Since we do get the packs, we do gravitate towards the hero just a little bit. I know I do for the C-bills, and plus it looks really cool, like the paint jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, the Hellfire, like I'll probably give about a 7 or 8 like out of 10 as far as like a mech wise. It's cool and everything. Just has some limited abilities, but still it's a halfway decent design though. It's like a Mad Dog light type thing.
Yeah, very much so. I think it's not going to break the game or anything. It's no new Hellbringer or Kodiak, but for those who at least like the Mad Dog and like doing a Mad Dog with up to 4 missile hardpoints, this thing has Mask on top of it and more options to fiddle around with the build. So I'm fine with the Mad Dog. I just wish there was one with more missile hardpoints so I could do the Streak Dog, but on a Hellfire.
Yeah, true. So is that where we're being talking about the Hellfire? Any other comments?
I think that's mostly it. I've seen others use it as a laser boat. and that's
Yeah.
fine. I just find the scattered hardpoints and the low wide arms are such a pain to use. I'm asking questions of myself like, for 5 more tons, I could just be a Hellbringer. Why am I not just a Hellbringer?
Yeah. Very true, man. Very true.
Wah, 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 wah.
So that's it for the for the Hellfire. Sorry, I got Hellbringer on my mind. Next up is LRM Boats. Okay, how to defeat LRM Boats. Now we're gonna give our thoughts about this, about like some of the tactics and things you can do. Now personally though, LRMs are the worst weapon in the game. It has so many counters against that thing, it's almost impossible to die from them unless you make a mistake. You know, you're out in the open, you're obviously gonna get LRM'd. That's what happens. So it it has so many counters that it's one of the worst things in the game. Lasers, you're just gonna hit. There's no counter except for hiding behind a building or another mech. You know, LRMs themselves are, they got a target. Yeah, basically the person can be 1,000 meters away. They can do that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. But by that time, you can just hide behind a building. So LRMs typically in the tabletop game were one of the different weapon systems that almost every mech had, because they do the damage, long range, come in, get to medium range, start using medium lasers and everything. But LRMs, just in a first-person shooter game, it's just a bad design, and it's one of the worst weapons you can die from. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are some of your counters, guys?
Well, I think I open it up a little bit if we're doing that to the role of LRM in the game. At least, so yeah, they've done another third buff in a row for LRMs, improving the heat, and their damage capabilities and whatnot is still the same. It's just a matter of their sustain, which wasn't too much of an issue before, but now it's a little better. Naturally, when the patch came out, there was a fair amount of alarming going on. It's died down a little bit, I think.
I have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, it definitely died down.
Yeah, there's always people trying out the weapon system, but then coming up against a lot of its downsides and all the nuisances of having to lock on and wait for the missiles to hit your target. Whereas there's a lot more catharsis with direct fire weapons, and you can take a lot more initiative with them. I would say, well, instead of focusing necessarily on the all the weaknesses of LRMs, the LRMs fits a very interesting spot, as in the skill floor of like the floor of the game. And the closest thing that comes to mind, maybe not everyone will get this, but in Call of Duty World of War, there was a particular weapon combo, weapon and perk combo, which was MP40 Juggernaut. In Call of Duty, at least, it's only a couple shots to kill. Juggernaut typically makes it so you take one more hit to kill. The MP40 could take a drum magazine, so it had something like 64 bullets in the drum, and it had a fairly good, because it's a submachine gun, good hit fire. You just point vaguely in the direction of the enemy, hold down the trigger, and it had a slow rate of fire but good damage. So because the game is very forgiving, it just you could just sprint about and then just randomly spray in all directions whenever you thought there was an enemy nearby, and you would have a fairly good chance of winning. It doesn't mean, of course, that bolt action weapons would still kill you still really ruin your day if they get a headshot. Or somebody with some other weapon aimed behind cover, they're going to win the fight against you. But most people jumped onto this particular weapons combo because it was so easy, and it sort of defined the skill floor. Everything becomes defined by MP40 Juggernaut in that game, and that's somewhat, at least I think, the concern with LRM is that typically, at least, if someone isn't too great at the game, they may just pick up LRM. And if LRM is really good, like if you, for example, had, if you had permanent locks on everyone, it would, like, if everyone's taking LRM, even though LRM really sucks, it really does lock down the game, because it could be fired from complete safety. It's one of the few indirect weapons in the game, one of the few fire support weapons in the game, other than magic fireballs and magic flame strikes.
God, you're right. Oh shit.
If those two consumables weren't in the game, it would sit in a very unique position where it's the only thing that can actually suppress people and keep your head down. And there are sadly times though that you're stuck between a rock and a hard place where people are pushing up on you. You're sitting behind this rock. You're going to have a brawler, someone with better close range combat. A whole bunch of people close range stuff coming to you, and you want to run away, but you can't because there's that one annoying LRM stalker with them who's holding lock on you whilst you're, and you're completely doomed. If you keep buffing LRM, what I'm saying though, to get to my point, is it raises the skill floor. It may not necessarily be the best weapon, but it can totally define how most average players play the game. And it also can restrict everyone's options into how to play the game. If you want to run around and hit fire with another SMG, you have to try and beat MP40 Juggernaut. If you're ever trying to, in that Call of Duty game, if you're ever trying to run from cover to cover, you better hope there's not an MP40 Juggernaut guy, because he's just going to spray bullets all around. He's going to hit all the clouds and just miraculously kill you because the freaking hitboxes are terrible. And that's a huge issue with the LRMs. Now, there are certainly counters. You can hide behind cover, but that means effectively sometimes you are pinned.
Yeah.
ECM counters it certainly, but tag and narc, which if LRM becomes very popular, will become a lot more prevalent, as we saw when whenever there's a LRM buff, people take out their narc boats, they take out their tags, and they cut through the ECM. So you need a lot of people to take ECM. And you can take AMS boats, they cut down the crowd, but there's only a couple of really good AMS boats out there. And IS Tech has almost little to no good AMS boats. At best, it's the Javelin, I think.
I think so, yeah.
With 2.2. Well, it's got 2 AMS and 10% rate of fire. I think it's Javelin and the Wolfhound. They're the only 2 IS mechs with quirks for AMS. There's tons of quirks for AMS for clans, and clans can take 2, 3, 4 on a lot of their mechs with huge quirks, particularly like the Nova. But IS Tech loses out at least on the AMS department.
I definitely agree with you in that one, as far as the IS Tech compared to Clan Tech trying to actually knock out LRMs and everything. And yes, LRMs do dictate the battlefield a lot of times, because a lot of times you have to get across the chasm, across the field to get to the other side to go start brawling with the brawling mech, especially for for Polar Highlands. You got to go engage, and a lot of times the brawler mechs are just sitting there, and it's like and they're waiting for the other team to go engage you, and it dictates the battlefield, which is that's pretty much why LRMs were put in there, and that's why LRMs are there. I think the salt is coming from people making mistakes as far as running out the middle of the field, and then the other team, I know when I see a mech out in the middle of the field, I'm all, bravo, get him, he's out in the open. And then all the LRM boats just start unloading on him. Then, of course, that guy gets pissed off because he made that type of mistake. I know situational awareness is one of the major parts of this game that a lot of people don't really understand. Is, okay, they have 3 LRM boats, so the best thing to do is not go out in the middle of the field. Kind of like engage on the, say Polar Highlands. Let's just give that for a major example. Go along the cracks and crevices so you're not LRM'd, and then also support boats is one of the things that actually do help with ECM and then AMS. ECM especially, because they can't actually get you. And I haven't seen a lot of people lately though. I know when the LRM buff did come out, there was a crap ton of narcs and tags and everything. I haven't seen many people actually use those anymore, because they want to do oh, I'm a big brawler guy, I'm gonna go kill and shoot my weapons. So there have been a lot of those guys now. But as far as a tactical game, yes, this is a tactical game. I know people don't believe that, but this has a highly regard to a tactical game. That the support role plays a major role in helping the assault mechs not be LRM'd to death from, say, from a scout targeting these guys, say a Raven running around, and then be behind you and say, okay, shoot that guy, and then keeping those guys target. Then they could just unload like crazy. And with the ECM, they can't do that. It's The weapon system has a ton of counters. It's a bad weapon system. Yes, they have been buffing it. And so you do see, like, for the first 1 to 2 weeks, just like we did see, Lurmageddon, and it happened. It's there, but I, like you've been talking about, it has been actually dying off. I haven't seen many Lurm boats, and I haven't had to take out my Nova to go and help people, go help the team, go do that. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It dies off, and I tell people, just give it about a week, and then all your frustration and pain will go away from your salt, and just go play the game like normally.
I think there's typically, like, 12v12 quick play, there's obviously 2 different ways it pans out in group queue and solo. In solo queue, of course, you haven't been able to coordinate what type of mix you're taking to the field. And if it just so happens one team starts with a whole bunch of Lerm boats and they all vote polar Lerm lands, whereas the other team has a whole bunch of brawlers and mid-range guys, and some vote Lerm lands, some vote other maps, but the other team all wanted Lerm lands. They got Lerm lands, and they just steamroll over the opposition. And that can be a huge pain. For the most part, though, dropping on your own as a Lerm boat, you have to acquire your own locks, meaning you have to bring your own narc beacon, your own tag, or have a sufficient engine, something like that. You have to be able to keep up with the team, and you can't just sort of sit back and rely on the information to come to you. It's a very passive play style otherwise. If Lerm becomes too much of a problem in solo queue, then this is as always, if Lerm becomes too much of a problem, the counters are pretty strong, and that means you just take a whole bunch of the counters, everyone starts taking AMS, and Lerm can be cut down a lot. The big thing, though, is when Lerm is taken en masse in a coordinated drop.
Like we do.
Group
yeah. Like sometimes we do theme nights, and like you're talking about, and I think we did it like 3 times, right? And we coordinate. We got our narkers, we got our Lerm boats, and then we got our major brawlers to kind of soak up the damage. And the salt is amazing. It's my God, it is amazing. But it's just basically a coordinated Lerm team can really knock out another team pretty easy about 80% of the time normally.
Yeah.
And the whole thing that stops us is charging us, because there were so many games we played, we're like, why did they charge us? We were so open. It's like, why didn't they charge us? Why didn't they do anything? But we just kept them at bay with Lerms because they're so afraid and don't know how to counter these things. And it's like, we're like, oh my God, we could have just been slaughtered if they would have charged us. But they didn't do that kind of stuff.
I think it's less the lack of counters or the not wanting to. I think it's more of that annoying incoming missile warning thing.
So
for some reason, that message pops up and everyone's like, oh, fuck, okay, where's that rock I can hide behind?
in group queue, I'd say obviously there's a whole bunch of different, groups going into it. It all depends about the group matchups. If you get 12 average random Joes, you randomly select them off the street, so to speak, or set 12 random mech warriors. They're going to choose random mechs. There's not going to be necessarily much synergy between them, but everyone's just jumping into the game, having a bit of fun. With those random guys, though, usually if you want them to, if you're losing a lot of matches because the random Pelschmel, composition isn't working out, I typically, you want to tell them all jump, okay, everyone jump in your LRM boats, and those who are good at narking, jump in your narc boats. And, all of you can now actually have a theme, you have a gimmick. Even though they're not that great, all they have to do is lock onto the things with narc and hold down the trigger until it stops moving.
Very true.
So at least for me, when playing with a whole bunch of casual groups, the mass LRM group is, it takes a little bit of work, but usually, these less competent players have a LRM boat somewhere. So you could usually find, it's the easiest composition to get together, so to speak. My other composition that I get people together is mass streak boat. And that's more I've got into the largest group because, I talk about streaks all the time. I keep doing well with streak boats and poking people to try streaks. And they're all like, so then, sometimes they just go, okay, let's all just take streaks and bum rush them and use lock-ons to skillfully mow their faces to pieces. And that also is a great way to take, a whole mesh of, different skill level players and just give them auto lock on weapons and, auto win the game because you chose a gimmick. Obviously, both of these gimmicks could really struggle against, the full competitive, like a much more hardcore audience, who, if they're taking all the clan mechs with their meta vomits, they know how to do good positioning, they know how to counter a bum rush or a LRM rush. They're obviously the top of the jungle, whereas, it's sort of, it's a bit like a crossbow. It doesn't take long to train somebody to use a crossbow, but it's really effective, much more so than someone who using a longbow requires many hours of dedicated training.
Yeah, true.
So I kind of like it in Group Q, but also there's obviously this interesting situation where the well-coordinated, competent teams are creaming the floor with the random puggies. Is that justified? Well, maybe it is. But what about the puggy teams who take all LRM? Is it fun for the random pugs, completely random pugs, to just get creamed because one of them who's moving up, he's trying to poke, he's trying to be aggressive, he gets narked, and the sky above him becomes black and he dies within 30 seconds. Everyone's like, they all start hiding, and then the next guy is marked. They take forever to figure out what's going on, and because they're all random buggies with random builds, it is completely not fun for them to get creamed in this way. But again, just like with the really competent players creaming everybody else, is that something that we could say is justified? Is that something that we would want changed?
I don't know about being changed. It has, like we talked about, it has so many counters. Like the one game that we played, we didn't understand why the 4 Hellbringers didn't just wipe us out, because they could have just gone within range and killed us all. I mean, literally. And I think just like you're talking about, with the competent players, with tier 1 players, they know how to counter all those different things that are going on, especially in Group Crew. And it's a weapon system that has so many flaws, but yet used right, it can just devastate a team. And you can't really balance that out. What are you gonna do? Like there's some there's some suggestions saying that you only have to have the lock-ons, or someone only you can do lock-ons or something like that. That way they have to share armor type thing. I don't think that's a very liable thing to go and do. Plus, I don't think PGI can actually do that. Other suggestions are that going in that only scouts can go ahead and give lock-ons, or it's a direct fire weapon, just like LRMs or something like that. I don't think that's a good idea. The weapon system is flawed completely against a person who doesn't know how to actually do anything against it. Group Q, yeah. Competent teams know how to go and attack you. Like they've been playing together for a long time. They know what they're doing. They got to learn meta vomit, laser, like whatever, like clan mechs and everything. So they know positioning. They know exactly how to go charge it. They know do this kind of thing.
They have real direct weapons, and they know how to use them, which is
exactly.
going to best the LRMs usually.
yeah, it's going to counter your LRMs. I know, like when we did that one night for LRMs, we fought this group twice, and both times they creamed us because they knew exactly what to do. And so even though we know we work together as a team, we got our narkers, got our LRM boats, we know positioning, we work together well as a team, we talk to each other, which is one of the main things. We talk to each other. We can devastate anyone that's lower than comp teams.
We talk at each other. I don't know if it's so much to each other.
Yeah. True. Hey, Lars, how's it going? Choo, choo, choo. Yeah. So we
you have Lars and Old Bob in their shield hero mechs, and their call out style is the thing in front of them is the thing they're going to call out to the team.
Yeah, kill it.
And it's good enough, but it's sometimes annoying. It's like, guys, it's Alpha. It's like you're flanking on your own. There's no one to help you. Don't call it out to us.
But the main thing is, though, that a competent LRM team can actually destroy almost every single non-competent laser vomit team. I guess the whole thing is if they don't do certain things to counter the LRMs. Like you said, like one guy gets killed, everyone starts hiding throughout the map. It's like that's the wrong thing to do. You need to charge these guys and get them out of the way, because otherwise they're just going to LRM you to death. They're going to do so much damage, and then that'll be it. That's why I think there's a call for so much hatred for LRM boats. Like every time I make a LRM video, I get like I have to ban 6 or 7 people because they're like, I'm gonna kill you, just crappy things like that. They have no concept that though it's the worst weapon system you can use, but it's very effective if you know how to use it, type thing.
I've seen too many people sometimes sort of. I don't know what it is with average puggies, but sometimes like they start getting learned and or they get knocked, and instead of taking the really hard piece of cover right next to them, like just reversing into the really good cover, they go, I'm taking damage, charge, and they do it on their own. Or someone's like, why are you charging? They're like, 800 meters away. You're not gonna make it. And it's just like, or they sit in a bad piece of cover. They don't sort of realize, move closer to the wall, it will help you. And they just slowly get chopped to pieces. And I just don't understand. Sometimes I think people, because like all the splash on their face, they can't tell what's going on. And that's why they just sort of give up to fate almost, or they don't make the wise decisions because, they're not like me. They don't have the same map knowledge. They don't know, how to actually block the incoming LRMs. So they just sort of go, and they panic.
Well, yeah, definitely. People freak out like over LRMs, and so just like like I think Anthony was saying, everyone starts scattering throughout the map trying to get cover, versus that one LRM5 boat, type thing. So it's just a matter of like knowing what to do, and not freaking out, and it's just and the salt is just amazing. And I think it's mostly, there are like some streamers, there are some YouTubers and some like high level people that freak out over LRMs or get so pissed off over it. But it's a mistake that you make being out in the open, or your positioning is not right to block that LRMs. Hide behind a building, just like Biter was talking about. Hide behind a building. Hide behind another mech. Like I've done that a couple times with the light mech. I would hide behind the, I'll hide behind like the assault mech or something, or I'll even hide behind the enemy team, and not take those damage, that type of stuff. It's just there's you shouldn't get salty over a weapon system that's that bad when you make the mistakes yourself. And of course, like do I get pissed off when someone cores my center? Oh, of course I do. Like I get pissed off from a laser bomb mech doing a 90-point alpha strike. But that's my own mistake for not torso twisting. Know what I'm saying? It's my own mistake for not doing the stuff that I should have done in order to counter that 90-point alpha strike to be spread across my whole chest.
I think LRMs in general serve a very important role in this game. In solo queue, they teach people how to actually react to LRMs. And then in group queue, it forces people to, 1, engage in teamwork to get rid of the LRMs, and 2, it forces the team with the LRMs to actually work on their coordination. So LRMs as a skill weapon are both necessary evil and very important to the general skill base of the game.
I think they do add, at least, if everything was just direct fire weapons, or almost direct fire weapons, it would all feel quite samey. The LRMs do add a unique flavor to the table, other than frickin' fireballs, I guess. But I would say, it does generally force you to actually consider your team comp, or change up your mech. And sometimes, though, it is sad, though, I just want to play X mech, but I can't because something is really prevalent right now. I would say, like, even if you're just doing random drops, at least this is something I whine a lot about when I'm in groups with people, is, has anyone here got ECM? We need at least just one guy with ECM, because then we all huddle under the ECM guy and charge in. When you've got no one with ECM, the prospect of crossing that huge distance is a lot more daunting. Whereas if you got the ECM guy, it's like, well, we're getting, you got plenty of time where you're not getting lermed, you feel more confident, and then when they start lerming you, it's like, oh no, they're lerming us, get in. The ECM isn't good enough anymore. It's like, so yeah, I usually want to try and choose or ask someone to take an ECM mech, even if, like, we've got a 4-man group, I want 1 ECM mech and also 1 streak mech. So we got our light counter and our LRM counter. That's all you need.
Well, yeah, that's only for like group queue, but solo queue is kind of like everyone. The one thing I noticed, like when the I was telling my wife this, she was like, "Well, how how can I get the like what's the one that you have like you work in a lance or like being a lance? Like what's that called? Like lance information, right?
Lance command.
Yeah. Or lance command, lance formation. I tell her it's like, well, you're probably not going to get that because most of the time everyone just scatters throughout the whole field. So like you have to be next to another mech that's with it in combat in order to get that.
Lance and formation reward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you only need to be next to someone else in your lance, one person.
Yeah, but most of the time though they're all scattered to different corners of the map and do whatever they're going to do. So group queue you can do that, but with normal queue it's pretty hard to do that a lot of times.
But in solo queue, it's like if you're a light mech, you just follow your other light mech buddy.
Yeah.
You stick with whatever guy seems the most appropriate. So if you've got a light mech with long range, you're a PPC adder, you stick with the medium of your lance because typically the lights and mediums are bunched together. Yeah, it's not too difficult, honestly. Same with bigger mechs. You just stick with the mech that seems to be going the same kind of direction that you're planning to go if you really want that reward, though it's not really something you should bother pursuing.
Mechwarrior Online. Pick a buddy, stick with the buddy.
Aethermech would be my buddy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You're only sometimes friend.
But most of the time I'm too busy getting shot at.
Okay.
I mean, for me at least, sometimes the game does get a little because everyone's we aren't typically doing the streak or LRM gimmick. Instead, it's just people dropping in doing whatever mechs they want, and that's fine. But a lot of them aren't picking the streak or ECM mechs, even after I whine about it. So what I found the Hellspawn and the Arctic Wolf, the ECM one.
Yeah.
The OmniMech one. Both of those can run streaks, go fast, and have ECM. So they tick off both of my boxes, and I'm giving more tonnage to my team. So those are some of the better team play mechs you could take in the game. You bring the anti-light tech, you bring the anti-lerm tech, and you could be an outrider for your team, and you give extra tonnage to your team. Exactly.
So, okay, so I think, are we done talking about LRMs? Because we should wrap this up.
Dead.
Yeah, the horse is dead. The horse is on my bed now. Okay, so you guys want to do the outro, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Okay, bye. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, this is episode 48 of the First Circuit podcast, talking about LRMs, talking about different things, and getting the news. We do appreciate you watching. Thank you guys for everything you guys do. The support you give us makes us do the things that we do. And episode 48, and we have Biter and Aethermech.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys later, and see you guys on the battlefield.
Target acquired.